Good Sunday morning and welcome to Inside Tennessee along with my colleague John North. I'm your moderator John Becker, and we are pleased to have with us the Honorable Judge Chuck Cerny, who has been on the bench for a good 25 years in our community. And Judge, we're going to talk about your role and the essential role that is coming shortly. Let me introduce our panelists. Susan Richardson-Williams is a Republican, runs her own PR firm. Good to have you with us. Don Bosch, also a regular. He is a Democrat, runs his own law firm.
Good morning. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you as well. Judge, you're here because we had an interesting discussion last week with the District Attorney General of Knox County, and Sharm Allen did confirm that right now the largest mental health treatment center in our community is the county jail. Unacceptable to her and to most people. You have been dealing what is a fundamental problem in our community for years now. And I want to just set the scene because there are 3 now courts that you're going to be in charge of that are designed to get people who suffer from some mental health problems or substance abuse problems out of jail and into treatment. One is a drug treatment court, another is veterans treatment court, and now the mental health treatment court. Let's start with the philosophy of these courts and why you're taking this on.
Well, we know that it's possible to have a win-win situation in the criminal justice system. And we have seen that from experience. In fact, recovery courts or drug courts have been in existence for 25 to 30 years. And you can help the community be safer, and you can prevent recidivism if you can also help people have better lives. The criminal justice system is the best thing that ever happened in the history of the world if you want to have a circumstance where someone is not guilty and you want to protect their rights and you want to let them have an opportunity to go to trial. But our criminal justice system isn't necessarily well suited to helping folks who engage in criminal behaviors as a result of either addiction or mental health issues.
One of the things that these courts have seen some pushback on is, hey, are we letting people off who have committed crimes? What do you say to people who have those concerns?
Well, the folks who aren't doing well sometimes will spend a little more time in jail than they would otherwise in a regular sentence because they are exposed to sanctions for inappropriate behaviors. But remember, what we're trying to do is help people voluntarily change their behaviors. When they exhibit a desire to make positive changes, we're helping them with treatment. We're helping them with a system of sanctions and incentives to help them make positive changes. So in point of fact, what's really going on is they're going to treatment, they're going to work, they're submitting to random drug screens, and they're compelled to, they're obligated to test clean, free of drugs, and so as a result, they're exhibiting all the behaviors you would expect of a good citizen.
And I want to let our panel in, but let me just have you walk us through, if you're a veteran who enters into treatment court, how do you qualify for veterans treatment court? And then what are your obligations as you were laying out if you're a military veteran?
Well, qualification, we try, first of all, we're not going to be accepting folks who are on the sex offender registry or accused of sexual offenses. We're not going to be accepting folks who are accused of significant violence. The folks who are veterans may exhibit at times minor misdemeanor level assaultive behavior in their history. But for the most part, we're talking about individuals who have had, for example, some sort of trauma or stress or whatever, post-traumatic stress, and they're self-medicating. And as a result, they exhibit criminal behaviors to try and get their drug of choice to continue self-medicating. And so as a result, that is the type of offender that would qualify. Once the DA and the lawyer representing the citizen who's accused, who's a veteran, have had some input and they agree that a veteran qualifies and would be a good candidate, then we screen them, and if everything is go, we get them into our program. And we have a five phases so that there's very severe restrictions on your freedoms and what you can and can't do in phase 1. Matriculating to phase 2 happens pretty quickly because we want to provide some reinforcement for beneficial behaviors and beneficial changes early on. And then phase 3 comes with some additional freedoms and some more responsibilities. And it typically takes about 18-ish months to get through Veterans Treatment Court. Some folks are there longer, and candidly, sometimes people get to the point where this is akin to a family support system or a network and that kind of thing, and sometimes we have to encourage them to apply to phase up because they don't want to leave. And their behaviors are changing, their character's improving, and I get to the point where I kind of care for them, so they're kind of like, extended family.
And they're matched up with mentors as well. I just wanted the judge to set the scene on these courts, and then we're going to dive into discussion from our panel. We're going to take a quick break on Inside Tennessee. We're back right after this.
Thanks for